Sensational allegations about Mendeecees Harris and Tamar Braxton have shocked the entertainment industry. You did really read accurately. Fans are shocked, and Jan Smith is completely distraught by the rapidly spreading rumors that the two had secretly wed. Every social media blog, fan account, and gossip website is trying to put together what really transpired. One picture, a short video, and the internet has been sparked by a few mysterious comments. Sources claim that Tamar and Mendeecees were seen wearing matching rings during what seemed to be a quiet dinner in Atlanta. But according to sources, what seemed like a private party was really their secret wedding celebration. People who were allegedly close to the couple are suggesting that they had been planning this in secret for months. And when Yandy heard the news, things apparently took an explosive turn. Fans are calling it the biggest betrayal in the history of hip-hop and romance. How could Mendes, who had shown such devotion to Yandy, end up in Tamar's arms? Is this an overblown publicity act, or is it really a secret union? Regardless of fact, everyone is excited to see what Yandy will do next, and emotions are running high. The entertainment sector has changed since the shocking revelation that Mendeecees and Tamar Braxton allegedly wed in secret. Social media is completely chaotic, with endless rumors, gossip, and timings of incredible floods. While some maintain that the proof is unquestionable, others claim it is only a rumor. According to internet reports, the couple was seen together in a remote apartment with candles, flowers, and what seemed to be a ring box. It seemed to be a celebration of something far more profound than a casual evening, perhaps even a secret wedding. A dot. As per insiders claim that over the last several months, Mendes and Tamar's connection has become closer. They initially met at a charity event, and that's how it all started. Those who saw their chemistry said it was instantaneous. A close friend of Tamar's informed me that Mendeecees has a serene, protecting aura, something she hasn't experienced in a long time. Maybe we're both looking for peace in the same place, Mendes reportedly said with a smile. The two soon began to show up together more often. It was a simple chat, but it could have sparked something more than friendship. At first, fans wrote it off as friendly help or professional collaboration. But when they kept showing up at the same resort, things changed, even in the middle of the night. Then, a fan shared a short, blurry video of Mendeecees unlocking Tamar's vehicle door while giving her an unfriendly smile. Nearly immediately, comments began to pour in. One admirer said, "That's not friendship energy," while another stated, "There's definitely something more here." Yandy's close friends and family started to see behavioral changes in the interim. Her spouse used to be active social media use has totally stopped. There's nothing but silence, no tags, comments, or tales. Fans right away become aware of it. Why did Yandy stop blogging about Mendeecees? Just one fan asked. The post that started it all then appeared. Yandy stunned her admirer with an enigmatic reply. Base. Sometimes when respect is lacking, love is insufficient. There was a lot of speculation in the areas designated for comments. Despite all that was happening, Tamar continued to write her usual bold, confident updates. In one video, she was wearing a white dress and getting out of a nice automobile as a wonderful romantic music played in the background. The caption said, "Some chapters start unexpectedly." And that was all it took for fans to pour in a ton of comments. Is she hinting at something? This looks like a wedding vibe, one user said. After a few days, the internet was totally wrecked by the picture that emerged. Tamar and Mendeecees were seen sitting together on a private balcony, holding champagne glasses. Even though the picture was a bit blurry, everyone's attention was instantly focused on their hands since they were both wearing identical bracelets. Are they rings for marriage? The information they communicated was sufficient. If this is true, Yandy deserves so much better, a shocked commenter said. And further individual said, others close to Yandy said that when she viewed that photo, everything in her life stopped. She spent hours alone in her room, not speaking to anybody. One source claims that the next morning she informed her boss, "I'm done." At that time, everyone suspected something was irreversibly harmed. A few hours later, fans found out that Yandy had unfollowed Mendeecees on Instagram. Within the eyes of the internet, such conduct was sufficient evidence of their divorce. The reactions from fans were strong and divisive. While some condemned Tamar for damaging another woman's house, others supported her by stating, "If Mendeecees chose her, maybe he wasn't happy before." Social media turned into a virtual battlefield where two sides were involved in an intense and never-ending struggle. The primary unresolved issue was whether or not a wedding had really occurred. This was just another sophisticated publicity stunt. Some sources said that there had been a small private wedding with very few people in attendance. People close to Mendeecees maintain that, despite the lack of official evidence, he seems to be completely different, calmer, quieter, like a guy who has made a terrible decision. According to one insider, he seemed to have finally stopped concealing anything. But this was more than just gossip for Yandy. It was painful. She supposedly took a vacation and left the city with her family in an effort to find clarity. When she was subsequently questioned about a horrifying comment she made in an interview, many were horrified. Silence may sometimes speak louder than words. After this flooded the comment sections with messages like, "She's hurting but staying strong," and "Yandy deserves peace," fans quickly concluded that Tamar was directly addressing the controversy when she shared another story that said, "What's meant for me will never miss me." Tamar didn't seem to mind. Nobody could be sure whether she was subtly reiterating their connection, or if she was just feeding the rumors that everyone was closely monitoring. Drama increased daily with new images, videos, and alleged evidence. Every quotation appeared to be posted, and Hazy Photo gave the reality show that everyone was obsessed with, which no one had signed up for, a fresh twist. This was no longer just a rumor. It had developed into a full-fledged public spectacle that made it difficult to distinguish between love, fame, and betrayal. Because the plot was filled with love, tragedy, envy, and mystery, fans were unable to look away. As the tale developed, the tension between rumor and fact grew unbearable. What was really happening behind closed doors piqued everyone's interest. Some media outlets claimed to show a dimly lit setting with soft music, rose petals, and a small number of people who were acquainted to both Tamar and Mendeecees' close circles. Video from inside the alleged wedding. The video shows Mendeecees wearing a white satin dress, nervously smirking, and adjusting Tamar's bracelet. Even though it wasn't a full wedding clip, viewers immediately began drawing connections, thinking it was from their secret ceremony. Mendeecees seems to be clutching what appears to be an entertainment blogger wrote, "Wedding band." That post alone garnered millions of views across all media, with the hashtag #TwardT. What is this if it's not a wedding in a few of ours? And Mendeecees started to gain popularity. Fans' comments varied from outrage to disbelief to interest. Someone said, "This can't be real," while another commented, "They seem content." Yandi is deserving of better. Maybe love simply happened to find them by accident. As the online globe spun around, Yandy's silence became louder than any speech. Her actions spoke louder than words, even if she hadn't spoken anything in public. After she stopped wearing her ring, a fan saw her shopping by herself. She had silent authority, no entourage, and no smile. In a short video, she was seen ducking questions from photographers as she exited a business. "Yandy, is our Mendeecees and Tamar true?" a reporter shouted. She didn't look back. The little film went viral. Her silence came to stand for both suffering and dignity. Mendeecees, on the other hand, seemed calm but distant. He was seen wearing a simple gold chain and without wearing a wedding band at a recent event. Fans zoomed in on photos to study every little detail. Some said he looked exhausted, but others said he looked content. A close friend claims that he has experienced a great deal, on an emotional level. Although he believes he followed his heart, he is not pleased with the outcome. But Tama seemed to accept the attention with confidence. She began sharing enigmatic statements about fate, love, and recovery on social media. "Sometimes you have to lose everything to find yourself," was the explanation of one of her postings that went viral on social media. People wondered whether she was referring to the criticism or defending her new beginning. Chapter or making reference to the critique. Then the photo showed up, making things much more difficult. Late at night, Mendeecees and Tamar were seen leaving a lavish residential complex. The photographer said they had been inside for hours, and the photos showed them strolling close to one another and grinning softly. Tamar donned a long coat and held a bouquet of white flowers. Fans immediately began conjecturing that the flat will be their new shared space. One of the headlines was Mendeecees Tamar, a fresh start in secrecy. When the internet exploded again, Yandy's friends apparently got worried. She had been withdrawing and avoiding her closest friends. Yandi feels deceived, not just as a wife, but also as a woman who supported him when everything else went against him. Her comments resonated deeply with her fans, reminding them all of her years of perseverance and dedication. It became clear that there was an emotional divide. It was up to Yandi to gather the fragments of a shattered love tale. As Tamar and Mendeecees seemed to be fighting, fans fiercely chose a side. Some argued that love is uncontrolled, while others said Tamar had gone too far. "You can't blame love for being messy," one fan said on Twitter. Another quickly shot back, saying, "Not when someone else's heart is shattered in the process." Occasionally it just occurs. Shocking. In the midst of this maelstrom, an unnamed insider disclosed purported text messages between Mendeecees and Tamar that indicated their relationship started months before the public ever suspected. Whether sincere or not, the messages were sincere, sympathetic, and loving. Mendeecees allegedly responded, "You make me feel seen in ways I never expected," in one of these letters, which stoked the fires even more. In another, Tamar said, "I don't want to hide anymore." But it seems that Yandy's administration chose not to reply. Viewers saw that she quietly unfollowed some friends who had ties to Tamar. The bridges were destroyed by fire, and that little act sent a strong message. A dot. Meanwhile, other bloggers began to question if this was all a clever marketing stunt. Are Tamar and Mendeecees staging this drama to stay relevant in the news? They are both aware of how according to a media observer, the entertainment industry operates. The emotional cost seemed too real to be contrived, even if it were the truth. Timing is key, and scandal sells. Then, late at night, a paparazzi video showing Yandi carrying a bag out of her residence surfaced. In the video, tears were visible behind her sunglasses as she walked up to a waiting car. Although she remained silent, the image of her departing by herself, the internet was once again destroyed by sorrow and silence. On social media, her admirers hailed her and called her a queen deserving of peace. Tamar and Mendeecees' next step astonished everyone. The two were seen dancing together to soft music in a recently released video, played at what seemed to be a private event. Tamar's palm rested lightly on their shoulder, and Mendeecees grinned calmly yet assuredly. The backdrop decorations included fairy lights, white flowers, and what seemed like a little "love always triumphs" sign. It didn't seem like a proper wedding party, but it also didn't seem like casual. There was no denying that the story had captured the interest of people worldwide. Whether it was chaos or love, followers kept refreshing timelines in expectation of confirmation, denial, or maybe just one honest remark. But none came. All that was there was tension, silence, and the unsettling image of three individuals caught between truth, love, and treachery. As the evening drew to a close, one thing became clear. There has never been a more blurry line between reality and gossip. The scandal persisted despite the silence that followed the widely circulated films. Instead, people's need for explanation grew as a result. For days, there appears to be an endless debate on social media over what really happened between Mendeecees, Tamar, and Yandi. Every talk program, gossip account, and fan podcast had something to say. Some said it was just exaggerated theater, while others called it the biggest controversy of the year in the form of reality TV. But even before the purported secret marriage, everyone agreed that this narrative didn't seem normal. There were rumors that Mendeecees and Tamar had been seen together many times. For months, the two had become quite close. In an interview with a popular entertainment site, a hairstylist who claimed to have been on Tamar Squad said, "You could tell something was happening." Energy between them. Her remarks gained widespread attention. It was more than friendship. Fans started creating timelines and analyzing pictures, clothing, and locations to figure out when it all started. Some even found old video showing Tamar and Mendeecees standing a few feet apart at the same professional gatherings, grinning momentarily. The greatest surprise, however, was when a small celebrity news website published what they claimed to be exclusive wedding information. According to them, the event took place in a hidden private estate outside of Atlanta with few people, no cameras, no journalists, and no grandeur. The story claims that Mendeecees dressed traditionally in a black suit while Tamar wearing a gown made of ivory. Despite the site's lack of official documentation, the item became viral in a couple of hours. It said that they vowed to keep their love shielded from the outside world while exchanging vows in the comforting glow of candles. At the same time, Yandy's world seemed to be falling apart in public. A video of her sobbing while eating with close friends was released. "After all," she muttered, "I stood by him through ... in the widely shared video. Does he thank me in this way?" The pure sincerity in her voice hurt people all across the internet. She received supportive comments from fans who called her a warrior woman and urged her to move on. Yandi committed her allegiance to a guy who didn't appreciate it, according to a widely shared post. She deserves a crown, not sorrow. But Mendeecees said nothing at all. No remarks, no interviews, and no postings. The mystery was heightened by his silence. Others who knew him, however, said that he battled feelings of regret and affection. An insider claims that he never intended for things to blow out this way. But he discovers a serene being with Tamar is something he hasn't experienced in years. With the phrase, "new beginnings," Tamar, on the other hand, seemed to be boldly embracing her new phase. "Are never simple, but they are always worthwhile." She shared a photo of herself in a vibrant clothing. Her admirers were divided. While some criticized her for meddling in another woman's affairs, others praised her for being genuine. "You can't build happiness on someone else's pain," said one follower, while "love doesn't ask for permission." Then the video from the flat showed up, changing everything again. A video featuring Mendeecees and Tamar walking hand in hand to an upscale midtown building has come to light. A little time later, they were seen laughing with a building concierge before disappearing into the elevator. The next morning, they were seen leaving together, looking happy and relaxed. They were seen wearing similar sweatshirts and holding coffee mugs in the photos taken by paparazzi. It didn't seem like a casual get-together, but rather a comfortable and almost married rendezvous at home. The public's theories took off. Some said they had moved in together, while others thought they were only seeing a buddy. On the other hand, a witness claimed to have seen movers carrying in several boxes and luggage the day before. Admirers believed that because of the accusation, Mendeecees had already broken up with Yandi and started a new life with Tamar. An entertainment commentator said, "This isn't a fling anymore. Appears to be a commitment," during a live feed. In the middle of all the chaos, Gandhi commented on her account, "Sometimes closure means walking away without explanations." Everyone understood who she was referring to, even though she didn't tag anybody. People shuddered when they heard this statement. The post was described by fans as the greatest nonverbal reaction since it went viral for many hours. But behind the scenes, things didn't seem to be as perfect as they were in the pictures. Tamar and Mendeecees' relationship was already under strain. A number of insiders said that the media attention, industry speculations, and constant criticism had started to wear them down. "She's strong, but even she's feeling the weight of it," Tamar's friend reportedly said. "No one wants their love connection to be seen as sensational." Meanwhile, Yandi was gradually regaining control of her narrative. She began focusing on her career, attending charitable events, and re-establishing contact with friends. She was calm and collected every time she made an appearance in public. Everyone was amazed by her manner despite the chaos. Among all of this, some admirers people started calling her the true victor. As they pursue headlines, seeking tranquility, Yandi penned a renowned blogger. But after the dust settled, an unexpected turn of events reignited the story. A new picture of Mendeecees seems to have a ring on his right hand. Despite the blurry shot, fans went bananas. "Is it prohibited for a wedding?" one user asked. Others compared it to the one from earlier alleged wedding film. In a few hours, the internet was buzzing again. Within a few hours, a video showing two hands intertwined, one with a matching ring, was posted by Tamar. Fans immediately linked the two on her account, which made things more confusing, claiming it was unquestionable proof that the wedding had really happened. All that was written in the caption was "Forever is now." News organizations, gossip websites, and social media personalities looked at each to see whether the hands indeed belonged to Tamar and Mendeecees. Frame, looking at jewelry patterns, lighting, and shadows. Some said the video was phony or out of date, but others believed it was new and authentic. The uncertainty allowed the plot to endure. Yandy said nothing at all, yet her lack of exposure made a big impression. She was healing by stepping away from the limelight. Close pals say she's sad, but she's also understanding her value. According to seemed to be living their truth. Was it love or betrayal? Willfulness or negligence? Every fan had a different perspective, but no one could turn away. A fresh start or a mistake in waiting? From chatter, the story had developed into a modern love triangle that blurred the lines between pleasure and misery. While the audience waited for one of them to finally speak, and more individuals came forward to claim to have seen things, the silence between them revealed more information than any headline could. An Atlanta wedding designer was one of the first to start stirring up rumors about Mendeecees and Tamar's purported nuptials. In an interview, she hinted that she had been asked to participate in a very secret celebrity wedding earlier that year, stating that the couple wanted things to be low-key, no leaks, no press. She didn't reveal names, but fans quickly recognized the link between them, just close friends and a pledge to love each other without passing judgment. In a matter of hours, all online rumor networks were repeating her enigmatic comments. Then, a somewhat blurry but clear enough image emerged to create chaos. It showed two people who seemed to be Mendeecees and Tamar, one in a black suit and the other in a white dress, standing under a flowering arch. While some rejected it as Photoshop, others were certain it was the evidence everyone had been waiting for. "You can deny rumors, but pictures speak louder than statements," said one fan. The internet was in flames. Hashtags like Yandy deserves better and Tamar and Mendeecees wedding began to gain popularity at the same time. Supporters were fiercely split. Some thought it was the ultimate betrayal, while others defended the pair, claiming that love is uncontrolled. The problem had turned into a public spectacle, and each new tweet just fueled the flames. According to insiders, Mendeecees and Tamar had already secretly tied the knot, and were now trying to adjust to their new life away from the chaos. According to a close friend of Tamars's, they didn't anticipate this becoming public so quickly. Peace was the last thing they wanted. Paparazzi set up camp outside the luxurious condo they had been seen entering weeks ago, but they wanted time to enjoy their peace before everyone started criticizing them. Yandi was trying to manage the storm with elegance, and people began to go to the area in the hopes of getting a glimpse of them together. However, the emotional toll was undeniable, and every new headline exacerbated the trauma. Insiders said she had started treatment to cope with everything when she was seen leaving a counseling center one day, obviously unhappy, yet composed. A close friend of hers told one outlet, "She's done pretending she's okay. She's now focused on her own recuperation after that one remark went viral and she received love and support from her followers." She was called Mendeecees, who is regarded by many as the epitome of tenacity, was torn between the shame of his past and his present. According to several close acquaintances, he made covert attempts to contact Yandi in an effort to find closure, but she reportedly rejected any he wanted to apologize, not to put things right, but to relieve his conscience, according to a source, since she felt that some of her wounds were too serious to be revisited. Tama, on the other hand, showed no anxiety in public, but Yandi's silence told it all. She was seen smiling while shopping in Los Angeles, wearing a chic outfit and expensive eyeglasses. When reporters approached her to comment, she just said, "I'm living my truth," and turned to go. Her self-assurance aroused both admiration and censure. Some admirers viewed it as power, while others thought it was insensitive. However, another unexpected development, Tamar's wedding ring was part of a valid marriage license that was covertly filed in a separate state, which came to light just when everyone believed the story couldn't get any more complicated. An audio recording purporting to be a confidential conversation between two industry insiders was released online. According to the Apparently, There had been a little ceremony led by someone who knew both Mendeecees and Tamar well. The release shocked the entertainment sector. People began searching public records to see whether there was a marriage license, and the story itself kept people talking. In the middle of all of this, Yandy revealed another mysterious message that had followers figuring it out, despite the fact that nothing official was found. The timing couldn't have been more symbolic. Sometimes the people who break you teach you what you really deserve. She didn't respond to any of the supportive remarks from her admirers, who described her courage as unparalleled, but her silence was enough. However, behind the scenes, Mendeecees and Tamar's lives weren't all that perfect. They were beginning to feel the burden of they're happy together, but they're also exhausted by the constant stress, the media circus, and the moral scrutiny, according to one insider. It's exhausting to watch, analyze, and criticize everything they do. Tamar, who has a reputation for being irate and apparently challenged Mendeecees about the attention she was receiving, she was overheard stating, "We can't even go to dinner without someone filming us," after a violent altercation at a restaurant. "It's just noise, baby," Mendeecees gently replied, in an effort to calm her down. We are aware that the world beyond their apartment is real, even with his assurance. The entertainment industry was also boisterous, and some of their common acquaintances started to remove themselves out of fear of the consequences of being associated with the conflict. Themselves. Producers began avoiding both identities. Collaboration stopped and invites stopped. A producer who had previously worked with Tamar said, "It's not that people don't like herds, just that nobody wants to be caught in the crossfire of all this drama." Tamar refused to back down. However, she indirectly addressed the accusations during a live social media session by saying, "People will always talk." She says, "But I'm not here to appease the masses. They will turn your joy into controversy and your tranquility into rumors." The effect of, "I'm here to live honestly" was so great that fans couldn't stop discussing whether or not Yandi was verifying everything without saying it. Began to take a more empowering turn in the meantime, as she started working with motivational speakers and spoke about her experience of self-worth and rehabilitation. During one of her talks, she said, "Sometimes you lose something precious to find something priceless yourself," which moved the audience and turned her sorrow into inspiration. Even though each of them seemed to be moving on, the internet wouldn't let the tale finish. People kept talking about it every day and analyzed the alleged wedding photos, the ring, and the apartment sightings. One photograph of Mendeecees walking his dog produced new headlines, such as "Mendeecees adapting to married life with Tamar." The media was obsessed with the chaos, and fans were unable to look away from it. It had developed from a straightforward love triangle into weeks past, as everyone waited for the next move in this story of notoriety, betrayal, and perseverance that confused private life with public spectacle. It might be a declaration, an interview, or another development that could totally change the trajectory of events. One thing is certain: as the dust eventually settles around the flurry of everyone is discussing rumors, emotions, and unexpected twists, everyone wants to know what really happened behind those closed doors. Are we all seeing an instance of exaggerated headlines and strategically placed leaks, regardless of whether they are fans, critics, insiders, or casual viewers? Or did Mendeecees really take that risky step with Tamar? The truth can still be hidden between what is spoken and what is seen. Tamar's confidence, Yandy's silence, and Mendeecees' calm have all turned into mysteries unto themselves. Fans are divided over whether this was love, betrayal, or simply another Hollywood scam happening in real life. But one thing is for sure: this is not an easy problem. As fresh evidence emerges, the line between speculation and truth gets more blurred. Social media is still filled with reactions, conjectures, and passionate outbursts. Yandy's choice. Others support Tamar's decision to choose peace and go with her dignity intact, believing that she should be pleased given all she's been through. Others, on the other hand, just want answers, real, unquestionable proof of what happened. But in the world of celebrity drama, the truth usually doesn't surface until long after the headlines and emotions have gone. It's clear that this story has already established itself as one of the most shocking entertainment stories in recent memory. Perhaps the real story will be revealed in the next weeks, Or perhaps it will stay concealed under well-crafted statements and pleasant photographs. Memories. We'd want to hear your opinions now, regardless of what comes next. Do you believe Yandi was right to leave, or should she have continued to discover the truth? Was this secret marriage real, or was it simply another case of uncontrollably spreading rumors? In the space provided for comments below, kindly express your thoughts. We'll read them all. Don't forget to press the alert bell so you never miss what happens next in this continuing narrative. For more exciting updates, subscribe to the channel, and if you prefer in-depth comments on celebrities, you may love this video.